Yo, I get up in the morning, slaving for bread, sir, so that every mouth can be fed. Oh, me Israelites, sir. I used to be a very big fan. Still am, but I haven't listened to Desmond Dekker in a long minute. Ska as a whole is a genre I've not checked out in a long minute, but I used to adore my first wave Jamaican ska. My two-tone British revival ska. And I didn't mind a little bit of third wave, don't get me wrong, but you can't beat the classics, can you really? As far as two-tone onwards, it was all classics, revitalised. Can't beat the first route. Prince Buster, Desmond Dekker, Toots and the Maytals. Let's get into it, shall we? First, Knock Loose, track number 1 of 10. It might be quite a brief record by the looks of things. We're not hanging around too long, track by track. We've got 10 numbers. The record's entitled You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To. Is this a Christian act? You know, they never really outwardly, overtly put themselves out in such manner. But I've heard they are, because I know someone, you know, I've heard through the grapevine. Don't want to get too connective with things, don't want to out myself too much, but no, people have been on tour with Not Loose. Part of the frontman, supposedly through a third party, is quite a religious folk, and I know you get the artwork and the imagery and stuff, but I never think it comes across too overt. And normally when bands are Christian bands, I think it actually sets them a low ceiling. It's very rare that you get Christian bands with Christian values elevated in the devilish music industry, you know, for obvious reasons. So this is quite a outlier, because people don't associate with such, you know. The moment any act is like a Christian band, suddenly they're like Christian metalcore, Christian black metal, Christian, and it's like a component of the act, even though it doesn't necessarily apply itself to such a degree in the music. Anyway, this goes out to the metalcore connoisseur who recommended this over on the Patreon. Round of applause, please. I'm a bit windy tonight. I feel a bit sick as well, to be honest. Something I've eaten hasn't settled very well. So I do apologise in advance if I just happen to pass out, maybe. But we're listening to Not Loose tonight. Shout out to Joel. One love. Let's go. First track is entitled First. Second track is Piece by Piece. There's only one Piece by Piece, and that's by Slayer. Let's be real. The only way to exit is going piece by piece. Considering we're talking Christianity tonight, I'm going to be pagan in my action. Four of Pentacles. Incredible amount of low end here. One moment. I just had to make sure I wasn't hearing anything. I just double checked my settings there. At first glance, for lack of better terms, the production, don't get me wrong, it's intense, but it's not a great production. That low end is not coming across very good through my headphones. It's almost industrial, that boom. classic breakdown. I like this. We don't do beatdowns. We do breakdowns. This is deathcore. This is a deathcore. This sounds like what Desolated were doing in their first record. Bruh, I know people know Desolated like they know Desolated, but they try to get away from what they once were. Check out their first album entitled I can't remember what it was called. Flip? I can't remember, but it was prior to them doing the vocals that we know Desolated for. It was a deathcore record, and it was heavy as hell. It was really good. It was really good. Considering we're speaking metalcore music, beatdown adjacent music and so forth, modernized beatdown and all this. Me and a close friend of mine, we were essentially like one of the only couple of heads moving when Desolated used to play back in the day. They used to play very frequently up here because they had a good connection with a promoter or two up here. And yeah, this was prior to them putting out an EP entitled The Sixth Day, which is essentially where they got their sound from there on, because it worked very well for them. And this was a time when they were cooperating with a couple of bands in particular, one of them being Malevolence, as to which they established a good brand, Malevolated. But there was a third act as well called Demoralizer, and I didn't mind them too much. But they sort of came and went, you know. But they broke up, so that was part of the reason. But that was a good time to be around the local circuit where I was at. Yeah. I mean, I think Desolated's time has come and gone. I think they've got a new frontman and all sorts now, but they're playing with Tsunami for a couple of dates, I think, and I think they supported Shattered Realm on a couple. So it's not like they're not getting events, but compared to the, you know, momentum they did establish back in the day, I don't know how you can pick it up. I digress. But this is the breakdowns you'd hear in that record. There you go. Fascinating production. This, so far, we're not reinventing the wheel with Not Loose, are we? That was what we expected of them. But yeah, interesting production. Very fuzzed out bass, very distorted low end to that. We got Piece by Piece coming up next. I'll see you there. Digga-da, 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 digga-da.